Hello and welcome today. We're going to talk about extreme animal parenting, or how some species go above and beyond for their offspring. Some animals are known for being devoted parents, such as elephants, penguins, and wolves. They protect, feed, and teach their young until they are ready to fend for themselves. But some animals take parenting to a whole new level, sacrificing their health, comfort, or even lives for the sake of their babies. Let's take a look at some of the most extreme examples of animal parenting in nature. The Suriname toad. The Suriname toad is a flat brown amphibian that lives in the swamps and rivers of South America. It has a very unusual way of reproducing. During mating, the male toad clasps the female from behind and fertilizes her eggs as she releases them. But instead of laying the eggs in the water, the female toad flips over and presses her back against the male's belly. The male then pushes the eggs into her skin, where they become embedded in small pockets. The female's skin grows over the eggs, creating a honeycomb-like pattern on her back. She carries up to 100 eggs in this way for several months until they hatch into fully developed toadlets. The baby toads then emerge from her back, leaving behind small holes that heal over time. The Suriname toad is an example of extreme parental care because the female toad sacrifices her mobility and comfort for the sake of her offspring. She also risks infection and predation by carrying the eggs on her back. But this strategy ensures that the eggs are protected from environmental hazards and predators, and that the young toads are born ready to survive on their own. The giant Pacific octopus is one of the largest and most intelligent invertebrates in the world. It can grow up to 6 meters in length and weigh up to 270 kilograms. It lives in the cold waters of the Pacific Ocean, where it hunts for fish, crabs, and other prey. It can also change its color and texture to camouflage itself or communicate with other octopuses. But when it comes to reproduction, the giant Pacific octopus pays a high price. After mating, the female octopus lays thousands of eggs in a secluded den, where she guards them for up to 7 months. During this time, she does not leave her den or eat anything. She constantly cleans and aerates the eggs with her arms and siphon, ensuring that they get enough oxygen and are free from parasites and debris. She also defends them from any intruders that might try to eat them. The female octopus dedicates her entire life to her offspring, but she never gets to see them hatch. As soon as the eggs start to hatch, she dies from starvation and exhaustion. Her body then becomes food for other animals, including her own young. The giant Pacific octopus is an example of extreme parental sacrifice because the female octopus gives up everything for her offspring. She forfeits her chance to mate again, her ability to hunt and feed herself, and ultimately, her life. But this strategy ensures that her offspring have a high chance of survival in a harsh environment. The horned lark is a small bird that lives in open habitats across North America, Europe, and Asia. It has a distinctive black mask and yellow throat, and males have black horns on their heads. It feeds on seeds and insects, and it can survive in cold climates. The horned lark is known for being a faithful parent, as both males and females share the duties of building a nest, incubating the eggs, and feeding the chicks. But what makes them extreme is how they cope with extreme weather conditions. The horned lark breeds in early spring, when snowstorms and freezing temperatures are still common. To protect their eggs and chicks from the cold, they use their bodies as insulation. They cover their nest with their wings and breast feathers, creating a warm pocket of air around their offspring. They also use their feet to shovel snow away from their nest site. The horned lark is an example of extreme parental endurance because they endure harsh weather conditions for the sake of their offspring. They risk hypothermia and frostbite by exposing themselves to the cold. They also risk predation by staying close to their nest site. But this strategy ensures that their offspring are kept warm and safe until they are ready to leave the nest. The emperor penguin is the largest and heaviest of all penguins, standing up to 1.2 meters tall and weighing up to 45 kilograms. It lives in Antarctica, the coldest and windiest continent on Earth. It feeds on fish, squid, and krill, diving to depths of up to 500 meters. The emperor penguin is famous for its remarkable breeding cycle, which involves both parents taking turns to incubate a single egg and care for the chick. The female penguin lays the egg in late autumn, when the temperature can drop to -40 degrees Celsius and the winds can reach 200 kilometers. She then passes the egg to the male penguin, who balances it on his feet and covers it with a fold of skin called a brood pouch. The female penguin then leaves to feed in the open sea for 2 months, while the male penguin stays behind and fasts. He huddles with other males in a large group, sharing body heat and protecting the eggs from the cold. The male penguin incubates the egg for about 65 days until it hatches. He then feeds the chick with a milky substance produced by his throat glands until the female penguin returns with food. The female penguin then takes over the chick rearing duties, while the male penguin goes to feed in the sea. They repeat this process until the chick is old enough to join a creche or a group of chicks that stay together for warmth and protection. The emperor penguin is an example of extreme parental cooperation because both parents share the responsibilities of incubating and feeding their offspring. They also endure extreme cold, hunger, and isolation for the sake of their offspring. But this strategy ensures that their offspring are born and raised in one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. The seahorse is a small fish that lives in tropical and temperate waters around the world. It has a horse-like head, a monkey-like tail, and a pouch-like belly. It feeds on small crustaceans and plankton, sucking them into its mouth like a vacuum cleaner. It can also change its color and shape to blend in with its surroundings. But what makes the seahorse unique is that it is one of the few animals where the male gets pregnant. During mating, the female seahorse transfers her eggs into the male's pouch, where he fertilizes them and carries them for up to 45 days. The male's pouch provides oxygen, nutrients, and hormones to the developing embryos, as well as protection from predators and parasites. When the time comes, the male seahorse contracts his pouch muscles and expels up to 2,000 baby seahorses into the water. The seahorse is an example of extreme parental role reversal because the male seahorse takes on the burden of pregnancy and childbirth. He also invests more energy and resources into his offspring than the female seahorse, but this strategy ensures that his offspring have a higher chance of survival, as they are born fully formed and independent. The Darwin's frog is a small, stocky frog that is endemic to Chile and Argentina. It gets its name from the fact that it was first described by Charles Darwin in 1839. The Darwin's frog is dark brown or black, with a mottled pattern on its back. It has a short head and body, and its hind legs are much longer than its front legs. The Darwin's frog is unique among amphibians for its brooding habits. The male frog swallows the fertilized eggs and stores them in his vocal sac, where they develop into tadpoles. The male frog can carry up to 20 eggs in his vocal sac, and he does not eat or call during this time. He keeps the eggs moist and oxygenated by moving his throat muscles and gulping air. After about 50 days, the tadpoles metamorphose into tiny froglets, and the male frog spits them out of his mouth. The Darwin's frog is an example of extreme parental role reversal because the male frog takes on the burden of pregnancy and childbirth. He also invests more energy and resources into his offspring than the female frog. But this strategy ensures that his offspring are protected from predators and parasites, and that they are born fully formed and independent. These are just some of the examples of extreme animal parenting in nature. These animals demonstrate how far some parents are willing to go for their offspring, even if it means sacrificing their well-being or lives. They also show how diverse and amazing the natural world is, and how much we can learn from it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to leave a comment below and tell us what you think of these extreme animal parents. See you next time.